It's kind of like using money to make more money, and by generating...
Seems pretty counterintuitive. Hi, it's Zach Weissmueller for Reason TV. I'm here at the Democratic National Convention. The Republicans made the national debt a centerpiece of their national convention. We're going to see if Democrats are also concerned about the national debt, and if so, what they'd like to see done about it. We're talking about the national debt today. Is that an important issue to you?
It certainly is, the national debt. It certainly is.
Is the national debt important to Democrats?
Absolutely.
I think the national debt is very important.
We're $16 trillion in debt, approximately. We're spending about $1 trillion more a year than we actually take in. So how do we close that $1 trillion a year gap, the deficit?
First of all, if you increase taxes, let me take time to deal with this right quick. The Republican says that President Barack is going to increase taxes, but they don't say it's for the rich one-percenters.
His plan seems to be to raise taxes on anyone making over $200,000 a year.
Does that cause you grief?
Well, it causes me grief only because that wouldn't actually close the deficit. It would only cut it by about $90 billion.
Would it make things a little more fair? See, we in Wisconsin are very big on fair.
Simply raising the taxes on the richest people is not going to close the deficit. Should everyone else be paying more of their fair share as well?
Taxes is not the only issue that's out there. It's an issue that gets the attention of some folks, but I think we've got to figure out how to stimulate this economy and put people back to work.
Investing in our infrastructure, it's kind of like using money to make more money, and by generating...
Seems pretty counterintuitive.
Perhaps it does, but I think it's really the way we need to go.
What exactly has he done to try to pull us out of debt? Because it seems like he's, just spent quite a bit of money and put us more in debt.
Well, as you know, it takes money to make money.
President Obama and others in his administration said, if we don't pass the stimulus, unemployment is going to shoot up above 8%. Well, we passed the stimulus and we're still above 8%. So how is that a success?
Well, you're looking at it was just on the money. Who knows what the future is going to hold? How in the world can you say President Obama did not do the things he said when he tried, and they cock-blocked him? They're cock-blocking. They cock-blocked. They did that on every bill he presented, the Wall Street bill, the stimulus bill.
They cock-blocked the stimulus bill? Would you be okay with cutting back some government spending, for instance?
Well, it would depend on the government spending. I certainly think there's glut.
What sort of reforms or programs would you like to see scaled back?
That's why we have congressmen. You ask them that question.
What are some of the things you think we can afford to cut back on in terms of government spending?
I think we make expenditures, subsidies on energy that perhaps... I think the energy companies are doing pretty well on their own.
So are we talking about subsidies on all energy companies, both green energy and oil companies?
I think the ones that are emerging technologies that could use research dollars, for example.
So you don't want to cut subsidies across the board then?
No, not necessarily across the board.
What about reforming some of the entitlements, Medicare, Social Security? Those are big drivers of debt.
Sure. Again, I am in the healthcare industry. 60% of everyone on Medicaid is your grandmother and mine. You're a young person. I assume you want to look forward to your Social Security someday.
I'm not counting on my Social Security one day if the national debt kind of collapses the whole program.
And that's wonderful. But right now, our generation and others are certainly counting on it.
You're advocating another stimulus. Do you think that's what Obama should put forward?
Not necessarily. You're with Reason magazine. I'm just a party chair. We don't have to be reasonable all the time.